Florence, Italy is a city rich in history, art, and culture. Known as the birthplace of the Renaissance, it offers visitors a unique experience through its iconic landmarks, architecture, and artistic treasures. Florence offers a rich variety of activities that cater to history buffs, art lovers, foodies, and those looking to immerse themselves in Italian culture. Explore attractions like Duomo, better known as the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, Uffizi Gallery, Ponte Vecchio, Palazzo Vecchio, Galleria dell'Accademia, and the Piazza della Signoria. Stroll across the Ponte Vecchio. This medieval bridge over the Arno River is lined with jewelry shops and offers a picturesque walk with stunning views of the river and city. Admire Florence's churches such as the Basilica of Santa Croce, Basilica of San Lorenzo, and Santa Maria Novella. In this vlog, I'll be visiting Florence in the Tuscany region of Italy. Florence is 172 miles north of Rome and 185 miles south of Milan. Despite traffic jams on the periphery, Florence isn't a huge city. It has a population of around 400,000 people, with around 200,000 more in the suburban regions. Florence was a center of medieval European trade and finance, and one of the wealthiest cities of that era. It is considered by many academics to have been the birthplace of the Renaissance, becoming a major artistic, cultural, commercial, political, economic, and financial center. During that time, Florence rose to a position of enormous influence in Italy, Europe, and beyond. Its turbulent political history includes periods of rule by the powerful Medici family and numerous religious and republican revolutions. The cradle of the Renaissance and the world capital of art in the 15th century, Florence boasts one of the oldest historic centers and some of the most famous museums in the world, as well as one of the most iconic and distinctive landscapes as far as the eye can see. Everything in Florence is spectacular, from the shops to the street, to the lead to the hills overlooking the more touristy areas. From the more authentic and popular neighborhoods just outside the historic center to the monuments that exhibit its soul. The city attracts millions of tourists every year, and UNESCO declared the historic center of Florence a World Heritage Site in 1982. The city is noted for its culture, Renaissance art and architecture, and monuments. The city also contains numerous museums and art galleries such as the Uffizi Gallery and Palazzo Pitti, and still exerts an influence in the fields of art, culture, and politics. Florence is widely recognized as the birthplace of the Renaissance, a period of immense and cultural and intellectual growth that shaped Western civilization. The city is a living museum of Renaissance art, architecture, and history. Key figures like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Dante, and Galileo all lived or worked in Florence, leaving behind legacies that you can still explore today. Florence's skyline is dominated by Brunelleschi's dome atop the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, one of the most important architectural feats of the Renaissance. Ponte Vecchio is one of the most photographed bridges in the world, lined with jewelry shops, spanning the Arno River. You'll find palaces like Palazzo Vecchio and Palazzo Pitti, which reflects the power and wealth of Florence's history. Florence is home to some of the most important art collections in the world, like the Uffizi Gallery, which hosts iconic works like Botticelli's Birth of Venice and the Da Vinci's Annunciation, and Galleria dell'Accademia, which houses Michelangelo's David, one of the most famous sculptures in history. Beyond this, Florence has countless smaller galleries, churches, and palaces filled with master works of art. Beyond art, Florence has a deep and complex history tied to the powerful Medici family, who were patrons of the arts and played a major role in the city's political and cultural life. Walking through the city's cobblestone streets feel like stepping back in time, as many buildings, plazas, and statues have remained virtually unchanged for centuries. Florence is the perfect destination for food lovers. The city's cuisine is rooted in traditional Tuscan fare. Florence is a compact city, making it perfect for exploring on foot. Wandering in the streets around Duomo and the Piazza della Signoria will give you a real sense of the city's charm. Every corner of Florence is rich with history, culture, and beauty, from hidden piazzas to local artisan workshops. The Mercato Central, or Central Market in Florence, is a vibrant and bustling market located in the heart of the city, offering a rich experience of Italian culture, cuisine, and local life. It is one of the most popular destinations for both locals and tourists who want to explore traditional Tuscan foods and flavors. Florence is the gateway to Tuscany, one of Italy's most scenic and storied regions. From Florence, you can easily take day trips to the rolling hills of the Chianti wine region, medieval towns like Siena, and vineyards which produce world-famous wines. Visiting Florence is like stepping into a living museum, where every part of the city offers something beautiful, artistic, and historically significant. Whether you're looking for culture, food, or simply an inspiring place to relax, Florence delivers a truly unforgettable experience. There is no better place for Renaissance art and architecture than Florence. From the Galleria dell'Accademia, home to Michelangelo's David, to the cathedrals and arches that make up the Palazzo Michelangelo, in a city known for its art, architecture, and Tuscan flavors, Vespa tours and wine tasting are a must. If you prefer self-guided tours, check out TripAdvisor's AI trip planning product for more personalized recommendations in Florence. The Ponte Vecchio is one of Florence's most famous and historic landmarks. It is a medieval stone bridge that spans the Arno River and is notable for its shops, which have been built along it, making it a unique blend of architecture and commerce. The bridge's history and structure make it a symbol of Florence. The bridge was originally built in Roman times, but it was destroyed by a flood in 1333. It was rebuilt in 1345, and its design, featuring 3 stone arches, has withstood the test of time. Its name Ponte Vecchio translates to Old Bridge, indicating its long-standing presence. In 1565, a secret passage known as the Vasari Corridor was constructed by architect Giorgio Vasari at the behest of Cosimo I de' Medici. This elevated walkway connects the Palazzo Vecchio with Palazzo Pitti, allowing the Medici family to move freely between their residences without mingling with the public. The corridor runs above the shops to the Ponte Vecchio, adding to the intriguing layer of Renaissance history to the bridge. What makes Ponte Vecchio especially distinctive is the presence of shops along both sides of the bridge. Initially, these shops were occupied by butchers, tanners, and fishmongers, but in 1593, the Medici family ordered that these shops be only rented to jewelers and goldsmiths, a tradition that continues today. The bridge provides stunning views of the Arno River and Florentine skyline. Many visitors stroll across to enjoy the architecture and the vibrant atmosphere of the shops. The Ponte Vecchio is not just a functional structure, but also an emblem of Florence's rich artistic and cultural heritage. It's a blend of architecture, commerce, and history. This blend of architecture, commerce, and history makes it a must-see landmark for anyone visiting the city. Piazzale Michelangelo is a renowned panoramic viewpoint in Florence, offering some of the most breathtaking views of the city. Located on a hill on the south bank of the Arno River, the Piazzale is a favorite destination for tourists and locals alike to enjoy a sweeping vista of Florence's iconic skyline. The main attraction of Piazzale Michelangelo is the incredible view it offers over Florence. From this elevated terrace, you can see many of the city's most famous landmarks, including the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore and its dome, Palazzo Vecchio and its tall tower, the Ponte Vecchio crossing the Arno River, the Basilica of Santa Croce, and the Tuscan hills in the background. The Piazzale is named after Michelangelo, one of Florence's most famous Renaissance artists. At its center stands a bronze replica of Michelangelo's David, surrounded by copies of his sculptures of the Medici Chapel from the Basilica of San Lorenzo. The original David is housed in the Galleria dell'Accademia, but this replica is a fitting tribute to the master's legacy. The Piazzale was designed in 1869 by Florentine artist Giuseppe Poggi as part of the city's urban renewal project when Florence was briefly the capital of Italy. It was intended to celebrate Michelangelo and provide a spectacular vantage point for the city. Piazzale Michelangelo is a must-visit location for anyone who wants to experience the beauty of Florence from above. Whether you're an early bird catching the sunrise or staying to watch the sunset, it's a perfect place to take in the charm and history of the city. Piazza della Signoria is one of the most famous squares in Florence, rich in history, art, and architecture. It serves as a hub for both locals and tourists, showcasing the city's Renaissance history and political history. The square has been the political heart of Florence since the late Middle Ages and was the site of significant events including public speeches, celebrations, and even executions. It was named Signoria, the ruling body of Florence during the Republic, which met in the nearby Palazzo Vecchio. There is a replica of Michelangelo's David standing in the square, originally intended to symbolize Florence's strength and independence. The original statue is housed in the Galleria dell'Accademia. The dominant feature of the square is the Palazzo Vecchio, Town Hall of Florence. Built in the late 13th century, it boasts a striking tower, the Arnolfo Tower, which stands at a height of 94 meters. The palace is a symbol of Florentine civil pride. The palace is a symbol of Florentine civic pride and contains many important artworks and rooms, such as the Hall of 500, which is adorned with frescoes and sculptures, which makes it easily accessible from other major attractions in Florence, such as Duomo, Uffizi Gallery, and Ponte Vecchio. In the center of the square stands the Fountain of Neptune, created by Bartolomeo Amaniti in the 16th century. The fountain features a large statue of Neptune, the god of the sea, surrounded by smaller figures representing sea nymphs and tritons. It was designed to celebrate Florence's maritime power. Loggia del Lanzi is an open-air gallery which features a collection of significant statues, including Perseus with the head of Medusa by Benedetto Cellini, The Rape of Selene Woman by Giovanni Bologna, and Hercules and Cagus by Baccio Bandinelli. Piazza della Signoria is not only a beautiful square, but a living testament to Florence's rich history and cultural heritage. Its combination of stunning architecture, significant artwork, and vibrant atmosphere make it a must-visit destination for anyone exploring Florence. Step back in time as you explore historic streets of Rome, drink the best wines in Tuscany, swim the crystal waters of the Mediterranean Sea, and lots more. You'll get to know a lot more about the top destinations in Italy. This tour is the perfect combination of organized activities and free time, for you get to explore this amazing country. In this 7-day tour of Italy, you'll get to visit Rome, Florence, and Venice, as well as the picturesque coast of Cinque and Naples. Use my link to join this tour via Tourhub. Experience Florence and Tuscany with the Florence City Pass. Visit famous sites, museums, and attractions in the city with just one ticket. Want to see more of the city? You can add on additional city tour with a hop-on hop-off bus. If you are staying for longer, take an opportunity to explore the beautiful cities in Tuscany like Siena. And with the Florence City Pass, you already have a ticket for the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The highlight for those interested in architecture and history, you can add the Brunelleschi Pass to the City Pass. This includes access to all attractions in the Piazza del Duomo or Cathedral Square, so you can visit the entire cathedral complex. One single ticket of San Giovanni. Use my link to purchase your Florence City Pass from Turbopass.com. The Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, also known as the Florence Cathedral or Duomo, is one of Italy's most iconic architectural landmarks. Construction began in 1296 and was completed in 1436. Designed in Gothic style by Arnolfo di Cambio, its most famous feature is its massive dome, engineered by Filippo Brunelleschi, which remains the largest brick dome ever constructed. Brunelleschi's dome is a masterpiece of Renaissance engineering. It was built without using scaffolding, which was a remarkable achievement for its time, using a double shell construction. The church was consecrated as soon as the dome was in place, although the facade or front of the church was only half finished by then. It was considered just a decoration and thus remained unfinished up until the 19th century. At that point, it actually had to get redone by the likes of the time and finally finished, which is what you see today. The exterior of the cathedral is clad in beautiful white, green, and pink marble, designed in neo-Gothic style by Emilio de Fabris in the 19th century. The exterior is covered in decorative mix of pink, white, and green marble. The interior, in contrast, is pretty stark and plain, but quite enjoyable on a warm summer day, since the temperature inside tends to be cooler. The mosaics pavements are certainly its main attractions within. The interior of the cathedral is relatively austere compared to its exterior, but it houses significant artworks, including frescoes by Giorgio Vasari and stained glass windows designed by various artists, including Lorenzo Gabarte. Please note the clock above the entrance on the inside of the church. It was designed in 1443 by Paolo Uccello in accordance with the Ora Italica, where the 24th hour of the day ended at sunset. The biggest artwork within the cathedral is the Giorgio Vasari's fresco of the Last Judgment. They were designed by Vasari, but painted mostly by his less talented student Federico Zuccari by 1579. You should also pay attention to the three frescoes along the left nave of the cathedral. Dante Before the City of Florence by Domenico di Michelino, which is especially interesting because it shows us, apart from the scenes of Divine Comedy, a view of Florence in 1465, a Florence such as Dante himself could not have seen in his time. The funerary monument to Sir John Hawkwood by Paolo Uccello, and the equestrian statue Nicola da Talignito by Andrea del Casno. Entry to the cathedral is free, but you do have to buy the single Grande Misia del Duomo to visit other monuments in the Piazza del Duomo, to climb up to the dome and bell tower. The Cathedral of the Santa Maria del Fiore is a testament to Florence's rich history in art, architecture, and engineering, representing a key monument in the transition from Gothic to Renaissance design. Basilica of Santa Croce in Florence is one of the city's most famous and historically significant churches, known for its rich art, architecture, and as the burial site of prominent Italian figures. The basilica was constructed by the Franciscan order and its dedication to Santa Croce, emphasizing the Franciscan dedication, poverty, and humility. It has been a central location for cultural and civic events in Florence over the centuries. Santa Croce is often called the Temple of Italian Glories because it houses the tombs of many important Italian figures. Among the notable tombs there are Michelangelo, Galileo Galilei, Niccolò Machiavelli, and Gioacchino Rossini. There are also monuments to Dante Alighieri and Leonardo da Vinci, although their remains are not there. The church is home to magnificent works by famous Renaissance artists. Giotto's frescoes in the chapel, which depicts the life of St. Francis and other religious scenes. Donatello's crucifix, which remains a remarkable wooden sculpture. And Cimabue crucifix, another standout piece, although it was heavily damaged by the 1966 flood. Cappella di Pazzi Chapel is designed by Cappella di Pazzi and is attached to the basilica. It is one of the finest examples of Renaissance architecture. Its harmonious proportions and simple beauty are a contrast to more ornate Gothic style of the main basilica. The basilica is an excellent example of Italian Gothic architecture, designed by Arnolfo di Cambio and constructed in the late 13th century. The exterior features a white and green marble facade, completed in the 19th century by Niccolò Matas. Santa Croce's mix of religious, artistic, and intellectual significance makes it a major cultural landmark in Florence, attracting millions of visitors who come to see the art, architecture, and pay homage to great figures buried there. Discover the beauty of Florence on a city tour. Immerse yourself in the city's rich history and culture by exploring its winding streets and charming piazzas. Take in the stunning architecture or enjoy the beautiful cityscape view from the hills. See the best of Florence and gain an appreciation for its unique character. Experience the city like a local without the hassle of planning your own tour. Don't wait, book your tour today and explore Florence like a local. Download Tiqets app and start looking for city tours you could do in Florence. Explore Florence's Duomo complex with a 3-day pass and priority entry to Brunelleschi's Dome. Listen to an exclusive audio guide application and enjoy views of the city from the top of the cathedral. Save time and skip the ticket buyer line and ticket pickup line. Let the exclusive mobile audio app marvel you out the Brunelleschi's Dome and enjoy a beautiful panorama over Florence and its surroundings. Use my link to get the Cathedral and Brunelleschi's Dome ticket from Get Your Guide. The Uffizi Gallery in Florence is one of the most renowned art museums in the world, housing an unparalleled collection of Italian Renaissance masterpieces alongside works from other periods. It is a must visit for art lovers and tourists alike, offering a rich journey through the history of art, especially focused on Florence's artistic contributions. Giorgio Vasari, the architect, began construction on the Uffizi Gallery in 1560 under the commission of Cosimo de' Medici, the Grand Duke of Tuscany. Originally, Uffizi meant offices in Italian and was meant to house the administrative and judicial offices of Florence. Over time, it evolved into the repository of the Medici family, where it houses art collection and eventually became a public museum in 1769. The building itself is a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture, with a long, narrow courtyard that opens up to a view of the Arno River and Ponte Vecchio. The Uffizi is best known for its extensive collection of work from the Renaissance, with a strong focus on artists from Florence. Highlights include Sandro Botticelli's The Birthplace of Venice and Primavera, Leonardo da Vinci's Annunciation and Adoration of the Magi, Michelangelo's The Doni Tonda, Raphael's Madonna of the Goldfinch, Caravaggio's Medusa and Bacchus, and Titian's Venus of Urbino. An additional feature of the Uffizi is the Vasari Corridor, a passage that connects the Uffizi with the Palazzo Pitti across the river. Passing over the Ponte Vecchio, it was built by Vasari in 1565 as a private walkway for the Medici family, and it houses many portraits and self-portraits by famous artists. However, it is not always open to the public. The Uffizi is not only a repository of some of the world's most important artworks, but a symbol of the Medici's patronage of the arts, which played a central role in the flourishing of Italian Renaissance. Its collection allows visitors to trace the development of Western art from Middle Ages through the Baroque period, making it a unique educational and cultural experience. The Uffizi Gallery stands as a testament to Florence's artistic legacy and offers visitors the chance to immerse themselves in centuries of artistic genius. Lines can get long, so it's advisable to book tickets ahead of time. The Galleria dell'Accademia is one of Florence's most famous museums, known for housing Michelangelo's David, one of the most iconic sculptures in the world. It is a must-visit destination for art lovers with its vast collections of Renaissance art and sculptures. The star attraction of the museum is the colossal statue of David, sculpted by Michelangelo between 1501 and 1504. The statue stands at a height of 17 feet tall. The statue depicts the biblical hero David just before his battle with Goliath. David is considered a masterpiece of Renaissance sculpture, admired for its detailed autonomy, expression of human form, and artistic mastery. It was originally placed in the Piazza del Signoria in 1504, but was moved to the Galleria dell'Accademia in 1873 to protect it from damage, with a replica now standing in its original outdoor location. The Galleria dell'Accademia also features an impressive collection of paintings from 13th to 16th century, particularly by Florentine artists. These include altarpieces and religious arts by artists like Sandro Botticelli and Domenico Ghirlandaio. One notable piece is The Tree of Life by Pacino di Bonoggia, a beautiful depiction of the crucifix with intricate symbolism. In addition to David, the museum houses several other sculptures by Michelangelo, including the famous Prisoners or Slaves. These unfinished sculptures, intended for the tomb of Pope Julius II, offer a fascinating glimpse into Michelangelo's working process, showing the figures as they are still struggling to emerge from the marble. The Pietà di Palestrina, also attributed to Michelangelo or his workshop, is another significant work in the collection. The museum was founded in 1784 by Leopold II, the Grand Duke of Tuscany, as an adjunct to the Academy of Fine Arts. Its original purpose was to teach students the techniques of drawing and art, and over time it became a repository for works of art from various religious institutions and Florentine palace. It evolved into one of the most important museums in Florence, drawing millions of visitors annually. The Galleria dell'Accademia is not just about the statue of David. It's a deep dive into the artistic and cultural achievements of Florence during the Renaissance, offering visitors a chance to appreciate the mastery of Michelangelo and other artists in an intimate setting. Visit one of the most famous museums in the world, housed in the former Uffizi or offices of the Medici family. Save your time by skipping the long line at the ticket office and explore the gallery at your own pace, in your own time. Admire the works of the greatest artists from the Middle Ages to the Renaissance. Learn about the secrets of the artist's crafts, techniques, and tools as you go through each room. Take the chance to also visit the Bargello Gallery, the first museum of the Middle Ages and Renaissance. Immerse yourself in Italian Renaissance art in Florence. Visit the Uffizi Gallery with this skip-the-line ticket from Klook. Visit Florence's top 2 museums in a single day. Learn about secrets of the Duomo and Piazza della Signoria. Get the benefits of a small group at an affordable price point with the Best of Florence sampler limited to just 10 to 15 people. Hear stories about Michelangelo's David at the Accademia. Marvel at the massive Duomo and step into the Palazzo Uffizi Gallery, all without waiting in a notoriously long line. Headsets in a smaller group size means you won't have to miss a single word of your guide's insightful commentary. Use my link to join this guided tour in Florence from Viator. Florence is well known for its stunning architecture. The Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore features a magnificent dome designed by Brunelleschi, an architectural marvel that dominates the Florence skyline. Ponte Vecchio, a medieval stone bridge adorned with shops, famous for its picturesque views and historical significance. Visiting Florence, Italy offers an unparalleled experience with rich history, stunning art, and vibrant culture. Florence is often considered the birthplace of the Renaissance, boasting an array of masterpieces from renowned artists such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Botticelli, and Raphael. The city is home to several iconic museums, such as the Uffizi Gallery and Galleria dell'Accademia. Florence has a deep historical narrative from its founding in Roman times to becoming the capital of Italy. Its streets are filled with stories from the powerful Medici family who influenced art, culture, and politics. The historic center of Florence is pedestrian friendly with narrow cobblestone streets lined with boutiques, artisanal shops, and cafes. Wandering these streets will allow you to discover hidden gems and local artisans. Florence is a city that offers a unique blend of history, art, culture, and gastronomy. Whether you're an artist, enthusiast, a foodie, or a history buff, Florence has something to captivate everyone. Its rich heritage, stunning architecture, and vibrant atmosphere make it a must-visit destination in Italy. In my next vlog, I'll be visiting the Vatican City.